I just jokingly turned to her. I was like, hey, I'm quite a big deal. You cannot talk to me like that. Then after that, she laughed. Then she said, so what? My internship ending in May. Square up or get out lah.
Wow, your own boss. Then you can MC. You can like take leave anytime.
Yes,
Your parents will ask you, today you working?
Oh my god, I think my parents don't even know what I'm doing.
Are you okay?
No, I feel like after hearing you, I feel like I'm looking at myself in the past.
Oh no.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Hot Pot where we hop into different transitions in life. I'm Joey.
I'm Q.
I'm Nick, and for today's episode, we are asking a question that feels more relevant than ever. Is entrepreneurism really the dream it's made out to be? We are unpacking the rise of young self-starters who have carved out businesses of their own and what that journey really looks like.
And who better to hear from than two people who have done it before? Let's welcome our friends Isaac and Maya.
Yay!
Our
This
friends,
Isaac guy look a bit familiar.
Big Bang got come back.
He said he looked like Top.
Yours say one, sia.
He said
Yours
one.
say, sia. Doom da da doom da da. You need to give me like
I
the big
see,
set.
I see.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
Isaac,
yeah.
intro.
Hi, my name is Isaac. I'm from Code Red and I run a vintage select clothing store, Loop Gums and Stakeout.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
Maya?
Hi, my name is Mayo. I am the creative director over at Chunky Film House, which is a multidisciplinary production house.
Say production again.
So, production house.
Multidisciplinary, is it y'all got different ways to like hide your employees?
Oh.
Like got caning, then got
You-
站马步.
Yeah,
Got
the
Nazi
wooden
corner,
wooden
everything.
ruler.
Kneel on the
Waterboarding.
abacus.
Or like kneel until the joystick burn out kind.
Oh.
That's the multidisciplinary.
Right. It's not lah. But basically, we just do different disciplines in and provide different like creative solutions to our clients.
Example?
Like Hot Pot, we want an immersive exhibition. Then maybe we could have the Nick room. Q, we can have like
We have a
first
queue.
loves.
First love? What's going on? And then Joey has her own mukbang room.
Oh yes. I was gonna say that.
I work for you.
Yeah.
Wait, fun fact. His team designed the first Code Red bus stop.
Wow.
But also, I feel like Mayo's like shortchanging himself. He runs like a super cool studio as well. That's super retro. You guys print out like keychains. You're bringing back the real good stuff. So they have like themed photo booths that all of us have been to, right? Have you been to one?
He never drove me.
No, because I show then you never go. I have so many messages asking
Yes.
Q
It
and Nick
was
to go with
like
us.
he's a little bit too cool for it.
Okay, let's pay some attention to Isaac also. I mean, because Isaac is our like brother vibes. So 不用讲了啦.
Brother that you've been on a date with.
Let's not talk about that.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, Isaac's business we all kind of know.
I mean,
We did a whole episode.
Yeah, so go back to the Playboy episode and watch it. Can plug Playbook now over here.
You already plug Code Red without our consent.
That's true. Oh yeah, Code Red also went to C Chunky Studio.
Oh,
We did like the keychains on my back.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
One of our seasons.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. How and why did you start your businesses?
Right. So myself and my business partner FJ, we were poly classmates, and back then, both of us were very into streetwear lah. We were trying very hard, to find out like new styles and stuff like that. But then online, the resources were not that great unless maybe if you have like an older sibling, older cousin who's really into the scene. We were on this like website called like Karma Loop. It's like a marketplace of like streetwear brands.
I gave Kamalup so much
Dude,
money.
same. Comment was great. So all the up and coming, like especially like American streetwear brands, get their start there. And that's where we found out about them. We buy things off them. We were on eBay sourcing a lot of stuff. But back then, obviously, we didn't sell anything. No carousel, no Instagram. Everything was just hoarding. We finished like NS. We went to uni. We came out of uni. We went to work for a bit, and then we started.
Has it been 10 years?
This year would be the 8th. The 8th year.
Wow.
My business partner and I, I've actually brought her with me.
Oh, wow.
Is she?
No, because right, guys, I really can't run this business without her.
100%.
Pause. For all those audio listeners, right, please go on to YouTube right now because you need to watch this happen.
You brought it for the shoot or you just normally carry it
I
around?
normally have it in my her in my pocket. She's like my comfort. No, I'm kidding, guys. No. Yeah. We were uni FYP mates. Yeah, and it used to be 3 of us, and then we did like our short film and everything. And while we were doing our like uni, what do you call that? Graduation show, we got approached by an agency to like do a commercial. And we were like, God damn, the money was not great. But as kids, we were like, of course lah, we'll back it in. Like, just abuse us and stuff. No, in a good way, the budget was not great. Use us. So we started that and we were just like, eating mala at Binjai Hall. And then we just signed up, hey, we need like a company. So we just like across our name in there.
What? Because of this one project?
So it evolved more than just like filmmaking, but also like immersive experiences that we have worked really closely with like galleries and museums to provide like different touch points when they are like promoting a new like gallery exhibition that's gonna happen within the space.
Okay, so guys, can you describe also how your business grew and evolved over the years?
I think it's been a crazy journey, I would say. The very first staff we hired was actually FJ's ex-colleague from her advertising agency. We wanted to really like tap into doing like more like social media. I spent the next, I would say, half a year to about a year, so working alongside her. So at that point of time, FJ was just holding the fort, and then sometimes, we switch in and out. But then we took another year to kind of like really come into that, right? Building that social media team. And then COVID hit. It was quite a scary moment. I remember FJ and myself, we were in the office one day, then we were like, shit, like how are we gonna like pay her? And it's like, okay, both of us, if we told, never mind, but this person believed in us and, decided to take a risk to join us. And we were like, wow, we're crying. Then we're like, okay, like we work our way, we try. I mean, thankfully, COVID didn't really like, it wasn't as bad as we thought. We really hard pivot. Like everything was online. We made like videos at home, whatever we can, we just do. And then we tied over to that period. And then we did an even crazier thing. We said, okay, I think this seems like it's working. Maybe let's like double down. We need to hire like one more like frontline stuff on the store. Yeah. And then we hire another social media to help. And then end of 2020, we said, hey, we cannot just do with like Loop Gums. Because Loop Gums is very niche. And then we decided to open another store. But that was the biggest risk that really, really like paid off. So at our peak, I would say we were like 9 full-timers strong. And then I think like 6 or 7 like part-timers. This is not on purpose, but 6 or 7 like part-timers. And then, like now it's just FJ and myself. Yeah, it's just been through a crazy like road, like transition.
What about you, Mel? Like how many employees do you have, full-time, part-time?
Quite crowded, huh?
It's a little chunky.
It's a little chunky. Currently, we have 3 full-time employees and 2 contract and 3 interns. So, we were making the decision of whether to keep the team lean. But I think in a production house, because you have to have multiple like projects happening at one time, and if we would do it ourselves, we would. It would be crazy. So we need people who are able to, like team A to run things while team B continues the momentum, so that there's always a constant flow.
How would you all describe your leadership styles? Like managing your employees?
Wow, this is tough. Okay, I would love to think that I am someone who is empathetic. But damn, sometimes it's like, wow, I can't like always give in because I have to like pay the rent. But I would say I'm quite reasonable. Like let me know why like you maybe want to take a day off. Because it's clearly stated that you need to tell me earlier because I'm planning stuff. We're planning things to go about, right? So I would like to think that I'm understanding.
Reasonable, understanding,
and maybe negotiating.
RUN, run. You like to run? Reasonable,
That's
understanding,
Isaac.
negotiating, and that leads us to our runner.
I feel sometimes I'm too empathetic.
Oh, my steak
Are
is
you
too
the
juicy.
softie?
Yeah.
My lobster is too buttery. I'm too empathetic.
No, but I think it's a double-edged sword. Like, I think in the beginning, we think that as long as we're nice to them, they will kind of like reciprocate. We help that standard lah. And I think in the first few years, with certain team members, I think it worked. They understand us in a way, we understood them. And also our doors are always open. You can always speak to us. And as much as it's very cringe, but I think that time like we try to build a family. We really did. At least for me. Okay? I don't speak for FJ, but like I find it hard to separate like work and personal. Because if I feel like if I work with you, then there's no like the what's up, man, like then I feel like a bit like I cannot just work is work. until sometimes really you give in too much. And then when
They
you reach,
push the boundaries.
yeah, then you
across.
reach to a point where like I think a bit crossed the line already. But then I've been letting them, do. Then is it I'm the asshole? Then that's the thing that I always like struggle.
I have this Gen Z intern now. I don't really know how to manage her, It's
you
quite
sure
funny.
can say out loud or
No,
not?
can. It's quite funny. Like she's being quite rude to me, but in a light-hearted way.
In a Gen Z way.
In a Gen Z way. I didn't take it personally lah. I just jokingly turned to her. I was like, hey, I'm quite a big deal. You cannot talk to me like that. Then after that she laughed. Then she said, so what? My internship ending in May. Square up or get out lah. Then I just burst out laughing. I thought it was damn funny.
That is quite hilarious.
Okay,
But-
but she can do work.
No, she can do work. No, and I think she can tell that like in
Joking.
that context I was quite chill.
I think I can relate to this because Derek speaks to me a bit like that sometimes. Like, babes,
Yeah.
you can't. Then I'm like, okay. But then when he's serious, right,
He's
he
serious.
will really
Yeah,
get
yeah,
work
yeah.
done. So I think when it comes to this kind of people, right, as long as they can get work done and they know
Yeah.
that outside of the joking realm, you cannot
Yeah.
be so
Yeah.
rude, right? Then I think it's
100%.
okay.
Yeah, but I do think that conversations like that and for tone to be like this, right, it's a marker that it's a safe environment to work in. Because if it's a very lean company, you guys build the culture as bosses or upper management, right? So you are the marker of where the barriers are. And as long as they respect you, because you don't need fear for respect to exist.
Okay, I do have a question for both of them. Because you guys are in the different generation. Okay, same generation lah, but
Same
the,
generation.
Quite
we
different.
have a
Isaac,
millennial.
quite
We have a
old, quite old.
millennial here and a Gen Z. Do you guys think that there's a difference when it comes to Gen Z and millennial bosses?
In the corporate setting, I think not as many Gen Z bosses yet, but starting to have some. I feel like actually quite similar to millennials.
Actually, I feel like the ability to switch is a superpower and is necessary for like actually corporate setting. Because if you can go to employer and be like, girl, let's fix it. Let's have an actual one-to-one and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Rather than like hey, this is not okay, right? Let's have a meeting now. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be about like I need to throw my power at you all the time.
But then I feel like it doesn't matter if like you are like Gen Z or like millennials. Sometimes I really feel like it's down to like just the person itself, whether they kind of like can empathize with like the situation or whether they can see it from a point of view. So like this example I always bring up is like during NS. So one of our sergeant majors, dude, he is the funniest guy off work, right? Like downtime. He's like always asking me about like, oh, hey bro, like this like sneaker, like nice or not. Over the weekends we play FIFA together, like we'll play overnight that kind. But then on the ground, like if I mess up, he me like a dog. But then I don't take it personally because I know I up. Like it was like, okay, yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. So I think it's like that, you kind of have to see it like why are they doing this and not like take it. It's like, wow, this guy like CBs. I feel at least for me.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult for them to understand from like,
course,
our
of course.
perspective.
Yeah.
But on the note of like, like maybe Gen Z bosses, I feel like because there's so much like all this content talking about
Yeah,
toxic
correct.
workplace,
Yeah.
we're more like, I guess, aware about what not to do and what to do. Like he or she asks for like a mental health break. I can't say no. Oh my God, I'm gonna get glass door if I say no.
Okay, guys, when people hear that you run your own businesses, what kind of assumptions do they usually make? You're very rich, huh?
Wow.
You're earning a lot, huh?
Wow,
Okay,
your
yeah.
own boss, then you can MC, you can like take leave anytime.
Yes,
Your parents will
that's-
ask you, today you working?
Oh my God, I think my parents don't even know what I'm doing.
How come, huh?
It's damn difficult for them to rap, to what's that word? To understand what's going on because I like, 你今天 directing 啊，那你今天画画啊。
哦，你今天在画
Of course, he paints.
Today you
Oh,
painting
yeah.
backdrop or today you like driving the van.
Yeah.
Have they
Yeah.
been to your studio, your office before?
They have.
Then they like impressed or not? They proud or not?
I think they're not bad. It's just not bad.
Not bad is high praise for an Asian family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess assumptions is like you have your own like management of your time. Like you literally just clock off whenever you want.
Or you choose how much to pay yourself.
Oh, that's crazy. Cause like no, this is the last thing. Yeah.
Actually, I've always been very curious. Like, how much do people pay themselves?
As in
How
there's-
do they
there's-
calculate?
No lah, got math one. Like
Got
based
a
on your
specific
revenue.
math that everyone follows?
No, I
Everyone
don't
should.
think so.
Everyone should follow.
But I
follow.
don't think that's if if your business operates healthily lah. Like,
No, I
well.
think as in first few years is you don't take salary and everything goes back into the business.
Yeah.
And then after that, once you cross a certain threshold, then based on your P&L and your revenue, and then the margin that you're operating at, then you come up with a salary band for you and all your employees, and then you at the top of it, how much you...
Word.
Correct, right?
Isaac, any other assumptions?
Really, wow, you a lot of time now. Like, hey bro, go dinner. You can just pangkang what? Just pangkang you
Yeah,
know.
last time we always say that. We always think like, hey, Isaac, why you don't hang out with us? Like, hang
Just
out
close
after
lah.
Just close
COVID
lah,
why?
pangkang. Got people at the store.
Why
Just
must go back?
pangkang. You're the boss. Yeah, or they really assume like, wow, you earn a lot of money. Like, but it's like not true. The grind is like, wow, the effort that you put in more than what you really get.
What are the working hours like for you?
Wow.
It's more of
Don't
like
stop man,
No
right?
stop.
No
it's more of like the
stop.
after operating hours is
Yeah.
the more like jialat for our store lah. Yeah, it's like the prep work, the back end, settling, the month, like what we're gonna do the next month,
I think personally for me, because each project takes on like a different kind of commitment. Sometimes the pre-production can be so heavy, and if you plan it so well, your production time is just maybe just like one day, half a day, and then sometimes your pre-production, if you're doing for like a shoot, it goes on to like 2 weeks to close to a month, right? And then the shoot's only like 3 days. During your working hours, that's where you have like the people who are on the team that you try to respect during that time. That's where we interact with them. But like once we clock off at like 7 or 8 like that, right? So maybe we, being the bosses or being the project managers, right? We have to plan whether everything is going right and things has been done on that day to make sure that we meet the timeline.
I think the work-life balance exists very differently for business owners.
Yeah.
Like if you work full-time, you can clock off because you have billable hours, right?
Yeah.
But as a business owner, if your staff
Yes.
reaches out to you, what can you can't ignore the text, right? Like it's kind of like you just have to be on. Even if you're not online, your brain is on work. So speaking of, how do you guys try to set boundaries to protect your personal time?
Because my business partner FJ, she has a family, she has a kid and one on the way. Ever since she, I think, had her first kid, we really prioritize like her family time. I want her to have that. Yeah, and then because me being single, I think you just go like, if you need your got family time, then I just thank lah. So it's always like that. But FJ is always, whatever time she has, she will obviously also commit lah. But I think this is for me really no boundaries. Like if anything happens to the store, I'll just go.
I guess like it's quite similar in the sense that the business started from like my passion. Like I was fortunate enough to make a business out of my something that I really loved, So the boundary was so difficult to like kind of like draw. I felt like maybe if I were to draw that boundary, I'll be very ungrateful because I finally made it to like for people to pay for something that I really love. Why am I like not doing this? Why am I like rejecting this because I'm tired or something like that? Yeah. But I feel, as the age is catching up, damn, I need to sleep and I need to like chill and just like doom scroll and lay in my bed and do nothing because like every day I'm just doing so many things. Naturally, what we do is just on weekends, we just really like, let's not text.
Unless there are events.
Unless there are events,
Okay.
unless there are activations that we are like popping off, then okay. But we will always practice off in lius.
Actually, follow-up question then. Is there a Maya and Isaac that exists outside of the context of work? Meaning you are an individual that doesn't operate under the guise of like, I'm running this business.
I guess I always say like code red is my escape. Like I can finally like be somebody other than Isaac from Loop comes and stick out.
You're welcome, man.
Like really,
You're
like,
welcome.
hey, thank you.
You can be Shah.
No, it's always tough. I always feel guilty like doing other things other than my like business stuff. And I think code red really helped me to kind of like let go of that a bit.
You can be your inner child.
Yeah.
I think I'm like trying to find that this year, 2026.
Okay, resolution.
I'm playing touch rock now, like on like weekends. It'd be so cool, right? Like what the heck, you may play touch rock, sure. Like it's like a totally like the
Your
dichotomy.
For work, you touch rock.
Out there, I
Touch rock.
Guys, do you smell that? Why does the air suddenly feel lighter? Like something good happened.
Not you. Joey Tan,
What is it? What is it?
explain yourself.
I was wondering when you'd notice.
What's in my bag?
Eh?
This, the Rosa Shamosa cream, super hydrating, gives you that glow. Basically what you need after a long day pretending you're not burnt out.
Let me try it.
try.
Let me try.
Oh,
Feels good.
let me try.
Wait, is that the Cheryl 91 perfume mist?
Yes, my energy reset. Before meetings, after meetings, during existential crises, one spritz and my brain goes, shh. Nick, you look like you need it. Go on, give it a try.
I try.
Tell me how it makes you feel.
Wow, I feel so relaxed. Like my emails don't exist.
Oh!
Q, you try.
For busy women facing work stress, reset, glow, and keep going with Sol de Janeiro, available at Sephora.
Okay, so next up, to understand Isaac and Maya a little better as bosses, we are going to act out a few scenarios as your pretend employees. Think of it as a this or that kind of game, and for each scenario, you will have to tell us which option you choose.
Okay, so I will list out the scenarios and then Joey will be employee A. And Nick will be employee B.
Okay.
Let's play this or that.
Yay.
The boss edition. Okay? Scenario number 1. Would you rather hire someone who, employee A, has plenty of experience but no letters of recommendation?
Oh, I totally understand it. Yeah, I actually know all of those things. I've actually had so much experience with actually 10 to 15 companies.
Any letters of recommendation?
I just don't have any letters of recommendation because it's just been so many. I can't keep up. I can't seem to get all the bosses to send me something. But I have so much experience.
Or employee B has little to no experience but comes highly recommended.
I just graduated yesterday. Here are my 20 references from managing directors and CEOs.
It's giving Nepo baby.
It's giving like why is no one recommending you?
Correct.
Because like, I no time. Like I work so hard. Then I don't want to stress out other bosses.
For me, I guess like for the industry, for like in production industry, I would go with employee A.
Woo!
Just because she's a good talker, but I'll be wary.
I think it depends on which stage of the business you're at. If you're just starting off, you also don't really have a lot of money. I think B definitely sounds like a brilliant choice lah. Like if I was just starting out. Yeah.
Okay.
But then if like, I'm in the thick of things already, I want my business to go somewhere, you have systems in place, you want something you can plug and play. Then definitely A.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you have to pick one now.
If right now, then I think A.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Nick,
Sian.
unfortunately, tala. Scenario number 2, you're starting to vibe with an employee. Vibe, you're all about the vibes. Would you rather employee A befriend them and talk about personal things? After all, connection builds trust.
Oh my god, my stomach really hurts. Like I had mala, right? Then I tala it. Then I vomit and then I like lao sai. Then my behind damn pain. But like I can still come to work. Like it's just like very painful only. I might want to vomit also, but it's like yeah.
Very interesting scenario to have chosen.
Employee B, keep things strictly professional and stick to work-only conversations so boundaries stay clear.
Here's the report. What am I doing for a weekend? No, you don't need to know.
Damn,
That
giving
was really rude.
two ends of the stick. That's
Oh, he very cold though. Very cold.
Here's,
You're like cold
here's the
people?
report 5 weeks early. I
wow.
took the liberty to
sweet.
do maybe like about 200% more than what you had asked
200%.
for. But yeah, you don't need to know what I'm doing on the weekend.
Wait, actually, that one quite appealing.
100%,
Then that's
100%,
hella
hands
appealing.
down.
I just want to
Can
hire
you give
that
200%?
person.
Can you do 500%?
Yeah,
I give 200%. I can ask my boyfriend give 200% also.
If you can give the equal amount of work, right, I'll go with A. Oh my god, B. I can't.
Isaac,
I
your
think
choice?
knowing what I know running the business is B, hands down. I think I've tried to be a A person too much. Really, I think I tried to be A too much.
I've
I think
heard,
I'm a bit
I've
tired
heard.
already.
Scenario number 3, an employee you're close to messes up. Would you rather deal with a situation where employee A, they've suddenly gone MIA and ghosted the work group chats and you don't know why? Employee B, they made a boo-boo during an important client presentation, costing the company the project.
Okay, so as you can see on this slide here, hey, Kanina, where's my slide?
Okay, so you want the ghoster or the kanina?
This kind of thing, I feel like at least can talk. Okay, like now you know that this happened. Like okay, then let's not
Ghosting a bit unreliable,
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
Whereas
exactly.
the mistake can be a
Yeah.
genuine
Okay,
mistake.
okay. Imagine Nick say kanina already, right? Then Isaac, you need to step in to fix the presentation. What will you say next?
You say what happened to your slide, right? You say like where's my slide? You say oh sorry, I forgot to put it in. Like even if I'm the boss, I say oh my bad, that's my fault. It's like just
You
carry on.
distract, You
I'll
distract.
distract.
Isaac would be like,
I'll just draw the blame
the
first.
origins of the word kanina actually came from 1963 when Ahwat actually said,
I choose A because like maybe they're going through something.
Okay.
Like
at least got problem that I can fix.
Yeah, the
B
money
got,
one.
you cannot fix anything already, right?
yeah.
Maybe also going through something.
Yeah.
Then I'll be
Then
angry
you
during
lose
the
a
presentation.
multi-million-dollar project.
Next scenario. One of your earliest employees is loyal and well-liked, but their performance has plateaued and is holding the team back. Would you rather?
Employee A, be loyal to me and keep me because we have so much history.
Employee B, let me go. Hire someone more capable if you can find.
Wow.
If you can find, it's crazy.
Like gross, yeah.
If you can find, I own self add one lah.
Wow. Employee A, loyalists. As like a small company, man, the day one's gotta stay, man. But of course, like talk them through it. Like, maybe ask like, what's up, man? Like, is that all? And maybe can like talk about like looking at what we can do.
Have to hold your employees accountable also. lah.
Yeah, because I couldn't have built this company without them also, ma. Yeah, so like, damn.
Well, Isaac looks like he's
Contemplating,
not.
Are you okay?
I feel like after hearing you, I feel like I'm looking at myself in the past.
I know.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The jaded millennial.
Yeah, I need like 5
I
more
think
years.
honestly, I think with regards to like people management, I'm like so jaded. I'm also loyalist also. I also like day ones. I use that word so many times. You my day ones. Everyone you're gonna eat, man. Everyone's gonna eat.
Oh.
But knowing what I know now, based on my experiences,
Yeah.
It's subjective also lah.
100%,
It is,
100%,
yeah.
100%.
Cause
I think
case by case
depends
lah,
on
yeah.
industry
Yeah,
and
the
and
person.
skill set.
100%.
Yeah. So whatever
Totally.
Isaac went
Yeah.
through might not be what
He's
you
just very scarred.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next one. An employee asks for extended flexibility due to a personal issue, but granting it would increase pressure on the rest of the team. Would you?
A, prioritize empathy and flexibility for that one employee.
Or B, enforce standard policies to be fair to everyone.
Sorry, as the episode goes by, right, Isaac's eyes getting sadder.
Because everything is all. I read through the thing also. Yeah,
Okay,
but
this is just a one-time
A.
thing. It's just a one-time thing. Like, I'm going through something now, but like it'll be different. I really know that it's hard on the rest of the team, but it's just this one time. I'll never do it again.
Steady.
My hamster dying.
I hope you bury you.
Aiyo.
Yeah. Boom.
I already have like B, like there's like standard policies on like protocols, like okay, if you want off, like let me know earlier. But we will always have the flexibility of like A, like okay, sure, let's bounce back when you're back.
What is a ridiculous reason?
Hamster die quite ridiculous here.
Okay, you rather hamster die or like I just can't right now?
Oh!
I rather hamster die. You can't what?
I just can't.
No,
I just can't right now.
Your company has its best year and you can afford bonuses, but not for everyone. Do you?
A, give large bonuses to only top performers, publicly recognizing them and risking resentment from the rest of the team.
Ooh.
Or B, spread smaller bonuses across everyone, including underperformers, knowing it may feel unfair to those who carried the company.
Both
Wait, but
suck
Spread smaller bonuses,
Damn.
meaning like
It's like macam in
could be more
between,
and then-
like in between, right? You, during Chinese New Year, right? Then everyone split at the end because we gotta go home already. You know that game?
No lah, of course not lah.
No man.
So how y'all pick?
Yeah.
A,
For sure.
Because I mean, isn't that the right thing to do?
Merit
Even for
based.
corporate.
merit based.
merit
Yeah.
based.
What message are you sending?
Easy,
Underperformer.
easy. Last scenario, you're offered a high-paying deal that could secure your company's future, but the client's values don't fully align with yours. Do you?
A, screw it. I'm gonna take the deal to protect my employees and keep the business alive. Values? Who cares about her?
Or B, turn it down to stay true to your values, even if it puts the company under serious financial strain. But actually, some must see how not aligned it is, right?
Everybody must wear purple shoes to work.
Take it.
Purple shoes.
Okay, the client insists that okay, if you take this deal, right, all your employees must walk to work.
Might
Okay,
as well
wait.
work at
I know
JB.
how to hit it where it hurts. Everyone needs to not be socially tethered to each other on social media. Like, you cannot follow each other. They will check. But everyone gets like really, really good pay and like guaranteed bonus at the end of the year.
100%.
Yeah,
Hands down.
100% A.
Whatever scenario, when you say A,
Money,
everyone's
right?
no, it's not about money. It's
Everyone's-
everyone's
yeah.
survival. Then it's
Yeah.
now the pressure's off my back. Sometimes really like not good to kind of like romanticize a lot of like these like values, and I mean it's good. Like I'm still about that on the ground, day in, day out. The people who've come through knows what FJ and I stand for. You know, that's why we always deal with people in person, right?
Yep.
But sometimes really, you know, this kind of stuff, hey, you gotta pay the bills, man. You know, you gotta pay the bills, and if you ensure survival, and yeah, 100%, please.
I think I relate to that. You know, in our photo booth services, right? Usually it's Ern and I who will be directing, and we're like on the ground making sure that, you know, we give the chunky service. You gotta pose this way and that way. But it's so like tiring. Like we're just thinking like, okay, do we need to like, you know, come out with like a directing kind of like course? So we are kind of like in the midst of that. Like,
100%.
scale it up or like keep it this bespokeness, you know, because that's what we started out for.
Yeah.
So that was our last scenario. Okay, to our guests, despite the challenges like we listed in the game, right? What are the best parts of running your own business? So like a bit more positive lah.
I think for me, it's 100% the interaction with the people. It gets me going, like really, like even it can be like maybe like a slow day, but you know, you have that one or two customers that just really the conversations that we have, and this is true, like I always tell them, wow, you made my day, you really made my day.
Aww.
And I go back always like thinking about like, okay, maybe the sales a bit slow, but like that.
For me, I feel is being able to sell like a crazy idea to a very conservative client. It's like a game. Like we try to win over their trust, push the boundaries with them. So I guess it's really from the conceptualization phase all the way until the execution. I think that's really rewarding to see it come to life from just a little shower thought. Yeah.
Do you think everyone's just trying to be an entrepreneur these days without knowing the truth behind being an entrepreneur?
I think that's what entrepreneurship is about. What you don't know what you're signing up for, and then until you go in there, it's whether you survive it.
It's true.
There's like like you don't know, like you actually have to manage people. You know, you have to like think about what's like the leaf system and whatnot. So I think that's the whole spirit about like entrepreneurialism.
But I think also because now like due to like social media and like whatnot, also a lot of people think like being associated with starting your own thing, you know, it's very like cool. But honestly, I always tell this to people. I feel like it's better to be like a number 14 in a big company than to be like the number 1 or 2. And you still do well, but you without that stress. You know, you don't have to like be the one to control everything. Yeah.
Actually, what's stopping us from having our own businesses?
Even as an employee, right? Now my mind is constantly racing already. I cannot switch off from work.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were my own boss, and you throw in the added pressure of being responsible for other people's livelihoods on top of mine, I really will not be able to switch off like forever. And I think I cannot like mentally.
Last time, Nick reached out to me a few times, jokingly asking me and a few people, should we start our own agency or like should we have our own company?
Oh yeah.
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 And I was like, I think 不要啦. No, you know what's my biggest fear? Starting a company with a friend. Ruining that friendship scares me.
I think that as a freelancer, I am my business, right? And like making sure that the bills are paid is part of the finances of my business.
What about like hiring people?
Yeah, so I this is something that has been on my mind for the past year and a half. But then it's also, if I hire people, yes, it will simplify the work I do now, but it might dilute the output. And as a content creator, it might change the essence, you know, and then you don't want to risk that. Because sometimes once you lose it, right, you can't really get it back.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a bit scary. But I actually was just looking at commercial spaces 2 months ago. And then I was like telling my husband, maybe we should open a craft shop because we have all the materials. I already know what I want to stock. And I already had all the brands like to be stockists of. And then my husband was like, you need to chill. And then the next day, I thought about it and I'm like, I can't believe I almost opened a business overnight. I was looking at like rent. I was like, actually rent is not that bad. I could totally make rent. But I think it's way more than that. It's like you are in a great headspace now. So you think of all the possibilities. Obviously, you're thinking of all the highs. You don't consider the lows and how it could affect your current highs. Yeah, and then it might drag everything down. So I think the three of us are like the up people.
Heads
and then
up
we
in
need
the
the
air.
M's and the FJs and the Charleses
it's
to be
true.
like, can you touch your feet touch the ground first?
Yeah.
Let's think about it.
Shout outs to them, man. Shout outs to them.
Yeah.
Okay, to end things off, can you all give an advice to our viewers?
If you really have that burning passion to do so, do it, you know, and then yeah, really see how it goes. Like, you know, they always say like, you know, F around and find out lah.
Damn, I was about to say, don't scared, just do. But find yourself a team to help you. Because like, damn, working alone, like,
Of course, 100%.
Could never. Could never.
Yeah. And also failing does not make you a failure.
Yeah.
Okay, and to wrap up, I mean, a quick disclaimer as well. Running a business, of course, is not for everyone, and that's okay. Being an entrepreneur is often glamorized, but success looks different for everyone. So some people thrive as founders, others as leaders or contributors within a team. So whether you're building your own business or still figuring things out, every path is valid. And if you are running a business and making it work, good on you.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of The Hot Pot. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Me Listen.
And subscribe to us if you haven't already.
And thanks once again to Isaac and Maya for joining us on today's episode.
Yes, thanks for having us.
And earn.
And
And
earn.
And if you relate to Isaac and Maya's stories because you started your own business or are thinking of starting one, let us know all about it in the comments below. We would love to hear about it. Maybe you could get some unsolicited advice from Mr. Nicholas Yim. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Hot Pot where we hop...
wow.
Oh my god, what happened?
You know the other building which you visited, like next to us was an audio production house. And then Kid Leroy went there to like film some stuff. And then he went to the toilet, which was a squat toilet. And he was like, you guys, what's this? Oh, on the floor. And he doesn't speak like that, I'm sorry. But
Suddenly he's just the outback. What's this?